Unaletea maji.
Hey yo guys, so now
Ombe lako unaletea maji.
maji ya
Hakuna kwani?
watch YouTube shorts.
My son
YouTube
is
shorts.
the president of Pampero Corporation.
That is YouTube shorts. Wait first. I'm going to be back. Now you're watching YouTube shorts now.
De quererte más,
And laminar.
yo me siento libre de quererte más. Yo me siento libre de quererte.
What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Most people think everything would just stop, but that's not what happens. The truth is terrifying. I'll explain. But first, if you wouldn't want this to happen, tap like, hit subscribe, and share this fast. Here's the shocking part. You're moving with Earth at over 1,000 kilometers per hour. If Earth suddenly stopped, you'd be thrown forward at that speed along with everything around you. Oceans would flood across land, and massive winds would tear across the planet. And without Earth's spin, the magnetic field could collapse, exposing the planet to deadly radiation leading total extinction. But how many times did I say Earth? What if the Earth suddenly...
Neymar's mom or Messi's mom?
Dites-moi d'où il vient.
Yeah, boy. Best versions of Home Alone.
Dit que lorsqu'on cherche bien, on n'est toujours pas trouvé. Elle dit qu'il n'est jamais très loin, il va très souvent travailler. Maman dit travailler c'est bien, bien mieux qu'être mal accompagné.
Ronaldo or Ronaldinho? Yeah, boy. Who's your best friend?
Comptez mes doigts.
Chocolate syrup! Chocolate syrup!
Hello guys. This YouTube
Chocolate powder! Cocoa powder. Chess. Perfect. Chocolate syrup. Chocolate.
Want to play Bond Lab on your phone? Look no I knocked out the smallest, weakest kid in school. While I was bench pressing, he cracked my ribs with a 5-pound dumbbell and smiled. That was Chester. He was 4'11", 85 pounds, and was the worst bully I ever met. His two brothers were 6'6", 300 pounds of pure muscle. Nobody touched Chester because they were terrified of his big brothers. I told the teacher, but he never believed that Chester had the strength to actually hurt anyone. I walked around with 2 cracked ribs for 3 months and couldn't laugh without wincing. A week later, my history teacher stepped out. Chester whispered into my ear, "Have you ever felt a tiger's claw?" Then he stabbed a pencil an inch deep into my back. I bled out onto the floor and everyone gasped. I needed 7 stitches. My teacher asked the class if anyone saw it. Every single student looked away. Chester smiled again. He was loving this power. PE baseball. Chester slammed a metal bat across my knee. I limped for a month. I still feel it when it rains. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anyone. I knew I had to handle this myself. So I started kickboxing. 5 days a week for 6 months straight. I sparred with semi-pros. Got beaten up badly at first. paused, then slowly started landing shots and earned their respect. I stored every one of Chester's hits in the back of my mind. I had a college scholarship and couldn't afford to risk losing it, so I waited for the last day of school. I walked up to him and said, "Hey Chester, have you ever felt a tiger's claw?" He looked confused. Before he could say a word, I threw everything, punches, kicks, elbows, and laid him out on the concrete, unconscious, bleeding out of his smug face. A crowd gathered and went completely silent. Then his two brothers pushed through the crowd and got in my face. "Try that shit on us. Go ahead, try it." I looked up at both of them and said, "You might kill me, but I'll take one of you with me to the grave. I swear it." They went quiet, glanced at each other, then walked away. For as big as they were, they had never actually been tested. Chester had 17 broken bones and ate through a straw for 4 months. No charges were pressed because even his own parents knew he had it coming. When I think about that day, I still get the warm and fuzzies. I knocked out the smallest, weakest kid in school.
What is Sonic the Hedgehog's real name actually is? Well, you see, for decades, Sega has told us that his name is just simply Sonic. But if you dig deep into the classic Archie comics, his real name is finally revealed. Why does he keep his real name hidden? Well, he desperately covers up his birth name to protect his cool reputation, knowing if his enemies found out, he would become a total laughingstock over his embarrassing name. See, in the comics, we learned that he was born with a hilariously nerdy name that he is absolutely terrified of his friends finding out about. But if
Everyone likes for their mother. But today, let's see who will like and subscribe for their father.
Sonic's dad appears in your room, it's because you haven't liked and subscribed anyway. But then his own dad finally slips up and reveals his actual name, Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. What is Sonic the Hedgehog's real name?
A 12-year-old boy was completely obsessed with video games, and he was insanely good at them. One day, while his parents were out, he got bored.
Raba.
Hebu niambie, alipropozia wapi? Ofisini, hotelini? Ati hotelini? Unajua Robert is Imagine it was so random, hata mimi mwenyewe sikuwa naamini it's happening.
Bored. Then he noticed his dad's car keys sitting on the table, and an idea hit him. He grabbed the keys, took his little sister, and drove straight onto the highway. Just like in a game, he handled the car like a pro, smoothly weaving through traffic and reaching speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour. From his home, he drove all the way to another province without a single accident, not even a scratch. As he entered another city and continued driving through its streets, he shockingly even knew to yield to pedestrians and follow traffic rules, driving like an experienced adult. Meanwhile, his parents returned home and realized their children were missing. As they rushed to look for them, they discovered the car was gone too. Thinking both the kids and the car had been stolen, the father immediately called the police. Officers quickly reviewed surveillance footage, only to discover that it was his own son behind the wheel. Even more shocking, when officers finally found the boy in a parking lot, he was calmly executing a perfect reverse park. The 12-year-old boy was completely obsessed with video games, and he was insanely good at them. One day, while his parents were out, he got bored. Then he noticed his dad's car keys sitting on the table, and an idea hit him. He grabbed the keys, took his little sister, and drove straight onto the highway. Just like in a game,
Andre Mr. Beast found my secret stash and bought himself a Beast Mode G-Wagon.
All right, Andre, playtime's over. If I win, you're cleaning the toilet every single day.
Don't rush the punishment, Mr. Beast. I just borrowed Elon Musk's Cybertruck, and if I win, you're buying me a new gaming PC.
Next challenge, cross the broken bridge.
The G-Class has amazing suspension.
But it's got 0 hammer defense.
If you tried to pull off a cool bicycle kick like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, it would probably be very hard because Ibrahimovic never takes his eyes off the ball before the kick. He jumps with the leg he's going to strike with, then lifts his other leg up. Once he's in the air, he lets his upper body fall backward. As he brings the jumping leg upward, he quickly drives the other leg down, which gives him extra power to strike the ball much harder. If you tried to pull off a cool bicycle kick like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, it would probably be very hard because Ibrahimovic never takes his eyes off the ball before the kick. He jumps with the leg he's going to strike with, then lifts his other leg up. Once he's in the air, he lets his upper body fall backward. As he brings the jumping leg upward, he quickly drives the other leg down, which gives him extra power to strike the ball much harder. If you tried to pull off...
Ronaldo, look at this. Ronaldo, look at this. The prank shows speed. Yeah. Speak Portuguese real quick. Ronaldo, look at this. My friend pulled up in his dad's new sports car. Come on, man. Let's see how fast it can go. I was nervous, but I got in. Within minutes, he was speeding down the road going 80. I saw the sign pass us. Speed limit, 45. Whoa, slow down, man. What if there's a cop? He pressed the gas harder, but then the car lit up red and blue. There was a cop behind us. He instantly started sweating. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Another cop was in front of us. Pull over right now. He slammed on the brakes and they boxed us in. He started panicking. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my scholarship. We're gonna go to jail. I knew we had to do something quick. We were going so fast, we'd for sure get thrown in jail. That's when I got an idea. I grabbed my flip phone and dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? I took a deep breath. Hello? I just saw someone walk into the bank with a shotgun. Please get here quick. I hung up and saw the cops walking towards our car. They already had their handcuffs out, hands on their weapons, and looked furious. But then, their radio turned on. Both of them froze. He grabbed it and said, "What?" They looked at each other and instantly ran back to their cars. He stopped at our window and yelled, "Slow down next time." We were both panting, drenched in sweat, and I immediately broke my phone in half and threw it into a lake. My friend pulled up in his dad's new sports car.
Tired of your phone slipping, music fading, and battery dying just when you need it most? Stop the frustration. Ignite your day. Meet the ultimate 3-in-1 tech companion. Holder, speaker, and power bank TK, the must-have gadget stirring up a storm in Kenya's homes and offices. Its sturdy holder keeps your phone secure for video calls or streaming. The high-quality speaker fills...
Why do people think a fly could dodge a bullet? Because it sees faster than we do. Most people think that since flies experience the world in slow motion, they would easily spot a bullet coming and zip out of the way in time. But that's not totally true. You see, flies really do process visual information about 4 times faster than humans, which is why our hands look incredibly slow to them. They can even take off in as little as 20 milliseconds. So what's really happening? If you don't want this to happen to you, tap the like button, click subscribe, then share, and when you tap the copy link, this amazing thing never happens. Flies react incredibly fast, but bullets travel